What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Haven, where we focus on having healthy conversations about the world and our place in it. I'm your host, Skylar Allen, and today's topic of conversation is going to be around desires that we ignore. So let's get into it. I started thinking about this topic of conversation just honestly in reflection in a journaling session that I was doing. I was just thinking about the year ahead. I was thinking about the projects that I'm working on and the person that I'm becoming and the professional that I'm developing as. And I was just reflecting on the things that I've wanted to bring to life in this world, whether it be creative projects or hobbies that I enjoy doing, things that I desire that I just don't prioritize or give any time to for whatever reason. So that got me thinking, well, what are the reasons why I'm not prioritizing the things that bring me joy or make me feel full of life? Like that's something important. And I'm typically not somebody who strays away from accomplishing things that they want to do, or even somebody who gets super, super shy. But I do get shy from time to time. So I just started dissecting that question like, well, what are my desires and what are the things that are ignored and what's stopping me from doing it? And like, what are my limitations? For example's sake, there's a couple things that I've been really genuinely interested in throughout my life and have not dedicated any significant amount of time to that I would like to. And we'll get into why that's important here in a little bit. But for example's sake, so you know what I'm talking about, I have always been interested in dance and in music and in making music. And dancing has been something that, like, if there's a good song on and we're at a function, you might catch me grooving. Or sometimes there's no music on and I'm just I have the rhythm of life flowing through my body. Or like randomly busting out into song. Like the people who know me and are in my inner circle know this about me. I'll bust a move anywhere. There doesn't even need to be music on. It's just something that, move that type of movement and dancing is something that I've just always felt connected to and always enjoyed doing. It just feels like a fun way of expression and moving things out of your body and expelling like energy. So I love dancing, but it's something that, like I said, comes up organically in my life. It just I'm always moving, but I'm never actually intentionally dancing. There might be some evenings where there may be some substances involved, nothing crazy, but just, organic herbs that might be involved that get somebody feeling a little loose and giggly. And there might be a dance party in the apartment, but I've never gone to a dance class consistently or brought it into my sphere that created dedicated time and space for me to do the thing that I enjoy and to expel energy in a way that brings me happiness. I use that as an example of like, yes, it's something that I casually do, but it's not something that I dedicate time to, and I should because it makes me feel so happy and it gets energy out of my body in a way that I enjoy, like a movement that I enjoy doing. I'm not somebody who really enjoys or loves going to the gym, although I'm trying. Because I know it's important to exercise and move and expel energy from yourself, but I think it's also important to find the avenues that allow you to enjoy doing that so it doesn't feel like such a chore or that there aren't as many barriers or obstacles that you put on yourself or that get in the way. And we should just enjoy most things that we do in life. It's just a principle that I believe. Not everything. Some things you just have to be an adult about and do. But I think we should prioritize joy and the things that bring us joy as much as possible. So that's why I use dancing as an example, because it genuinely just makes me so happy and I love to do it. And the things that get in the way of me doing it more often are truthfully like fear of judgment or fear of making a fool of myself in more of a dedicated setting. Like if I went to a dance class and I sucked. Nobody else in that room probably cares, but it's that like ego talking where people are looking at you or laughing at you or judging the way your body moves. And that's just, first of all, if they are, who cares? Second of all, they probably aren't. Everybody's focused on their own thing and trying to learn moves for themselves. That's my example of one desire that I have that gets ignored because I have a self limitation of fear around it, fear of judgment around it, or maybe even fear of expression. I don't really know what the difference is between being out with friends and moving and grooving versus going to a class. Maybe it's the sobriety aspect of it. Maybe it's the when you're with your friends, you just have a different energy on. I don't know. I don't know specifically, but all those could be true. Another thing, another desire that I have that has been ignored in my life is making music. I have all of the tools. I have a piano in my garage. I have a drum set in my garage. I have a keyboard in my bedroom, an acoustic guitar in my bedroom, an electric guitar back in Virginia, which I'm in Colorado for those who don't know, so that's a little ways for me. But I have all the tools. I have loop pedals, recording equipment, like I have everything that I could need to practice that and fulfill that. And I have such a hesitation about utilizing the equipment that I have to pursue the thing that I enjoy doing. And it's not that I want to make music like professionally or have that be something that even really gets put out into the world. It's just something that I really enjoy doing on my own, and I want to spend more time doing it, but I don't, even though I have all the tools for success. And I don't do it because of the limitations that I put on myself. And that's probably it, really. There's probably no external things that get in the way. It's just me. It's my mindset of this is too hard, or I don't really know what I'm doing, or this equipment doesn't make very much sense to me, or I don't have the patience to learn more about it. And all those things are really just excuses. Like, I have all the tools. It's just a matter of dedicating the time to learning more about this craft and musical instruments and the equipment that goes into recording or making things talk to each other. And it's the dedication to practice the instrument and practice the art of making music and just have fun with it. I put a lot of pressure of perfection on if I were to try to record something or things sounding good. And if I have something in my head and I can't translate it properly on an instrument, it's very frustrating. But that doesn't mean I should give up or walk away. I want to be more disciplined and just sitting down and figuring it out. And when I do that, it feels really nice. Like to get to that point of, oh, I heard it in my head, I accomplished it out loud, that's awesome, and now it's a sound that I've made, or it's a song that already exists that I was able to put together just by ear and developing that skill. So I use these things as examples because, I mean, how often do we get in our own way when you have all the tools for success in your lap, right in front of you, immediately in your atmosphere, and you choose to find reasons or excuses, I should say, as to why it's not going to work out or why you're not going to do it? And this is why I'm bringing this conversation up today, because I think it's important for us to take the time to address that in our lives and to hold ourselves accountable when we're trying to find excuses and say, you know what, no, this is something that I enjoy. This is something that's important or meaningful or has purpose, and I'm going to pursue it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to accomplish it. I'm going to put something out into the world or check this off my to-do list or whatever it is that you're trying to do or make more time for or pursue, whether it be on a professional level, a personal level, like a creative level, educational, whatever it is that you want to do, that you have a desire to do, and you find reasons to not do it, is such a big disservice, not only to yourself and what your heart is telling you it wants, or your soul is telling you it wants to do or create, produce. It's also a disservice to the world because that desire is not on your heart for nothing, for no reason. The desires that we have and the things that we crave to do, generally speaking, I mean, not to say there's not temptations or cravings that we have that aren't good for us, but in this sense of desires that bring us joy and are meaningful to us in some way, shape, or form, when we choose to not fulfill those desires, it is a disservice to yourself. You're robbing yourself of your own happiness, and you're robbing the world of what you have to bring to it. A creative project that stays in your brain or stays, even if you create it, but it stays in your room and nobody sees it, you're taking that opportunity away from somebody else to learn from it or to engage with it or take something away from it or resonate with it or feel something from it. And that's what we're all here to do. I mean, we all exist together. We're part of this one life force together, which I believe, I mean, not to get into spirituality or anything like that in this episode, but we're all here just living life and experiencing life. And we're meant to experience joy and we're meant to fulfill our desires and we're meant to live as big as possible and as comfortably and as joyous as possible, which I know is an optimistic sounding statement because sometimes life is insufferably difficult. That's a part of it too, though. And that those insufferable moments are part of what makes it so special to find and feel and express joy and to share that with others. So the more that we dedicate focused, intentional time to fulfill the desires that we have and create more joy in our lives, directly brings more joy into the world, raises the vibrations as a whole, and gives other people more opportunities to experience joy as well. Gives you an opportunity to maybe build community or make new friends or put yourself in environments that you otherwise wouldn't have been in that might be the best rooms you've ever been in. And let me elaborate on that. Let's say if I decided that I'm finally going to go start taking dance classes. And I do it every Saturday because that's when I have time for it. It's what works in my schedule, whatever. I'm going every Saturday, I'm going to a dance class. If I start doing that, I might meet some new friends that I wouldn't have ever met otherwise or wouldn't have known existed. And those new friends could bring new possibilities into my life and new opportunities we could have. First of all, just think about your favorite memories with your friends, like all the nights that spontaneously came about and you'll remember forever. Those are the kinds of things that excite me about life is to know that there's more connections out there for you. There's more people that you can meet, more fun you can have, more laughs you can share, more deep, meaningful conversations. You're robbing yourself of those types of opportunities just because you didn't want to go to a class because you were nervous, you know? Or those people in that class, whether they bring you friendship, maybe they bring you business opportunities. Maybe somebody in that class needs a coaching session or needs a Reiki session or knows somebody who does and that can help me grow my business in some way. Maybe there's collaboration opportunities in that room. You never know what's waiting for you in the spaces that uphold or fulfill your desires. And if you never go or you never give yourself the chance to experience fulfilling your desire or experience the joy of doing the things that you love, there's so many other things that go with that in life that you're taking away from yourself. And that's not fair. You deserve joy and you deserve happiness and the connections and the abundance that comes with it when you're aligned with yourself and fulfilling your own desires and walking in your own purpose. Now, that's not to say that every single desire you have is directly linked to your purpose. Although some could argue that maybe it is. That's not what I'm here to discuss today. Although I'd be happy to get into that kind of stuff in another episode. But today's focus is really just about encouraging you to discover what your own desires in life are, the things that bring you the most joy or the things that feel the most meaningful to you. What's getting in the way of you spending more time with those things? And how do we overcome those limitations or obstacles or blockages? And how do we hold ourselves accountable to actually do the things that we say we want to do? So, moving into the limitations piece of this conversation. A lot of the things that I shared already are around self-doubts or fears or anxieties or I mentioned fear of judgment. These are all things that we place on ourselves. But there could also be things like financial limitations, like you don't have the disposable income to go to a class that you might enjoy doing, or you don't have the time in your schedule to fit in a class or a group thing, or go to a show or whatever it is. Like there might be time, financial limitations, as well as your own negative self-talk or worries. So figuring out your limitations is important because that's the first step in problem solving and coming up with an action plan. So if we're moving from the limitations into accountability and finding an action plan, really depends on what the limitations are. If it's a matter of self-doubt or negative self-talk or just self-limitations in general, the best thing that you can do for yourself to hold yourself accountable is to just do the thing. And remind yourself why you actually enjoy it. Get close to that feeling of joy in the desires that you hold. And remember why you enjoy it so much. And when you're in that feeling of, oh, this is why I love this, or man, I love this feeling, it's going to be easier for you to pull the trigger on signing up for that class, or reaching out to that person, or applying for that thing, or reaching for the stars, so to speak. Like, you don't have to go straight to the top. I mean, I know reaching for the stars might have been a dramatic jump from facing self-limitations to conquering the world, but sometimes it does happen like that, where you take a moment and you act in the moment that you're feeling your best. So if you're really in touch with the feeling of joy, doing this desire, or fulfilling this desire that you have to do the thing, it's going to be so much easier for you. If it's a matter of financial limitation, then it's just a matter of budgeting, really. Like, are you really going to allow life to tell you you can't do the thing you want to do? Now, that's not to say that I don't understand the financial struggle in this day and age, in this economy, in this country. I certainly do. I certainly do. But There's always something you can do to make a couple extra bucks to invest in something that brings you joy. And the things that you prioritize in your budget should go towards obviously like your needs for survival and your bills and things like that. But you should also prioritize investing in things that bring you happiness and joy so that you can be your best self. It just changes your energy that you're in on a daily basis. Like if you have things in your routine and your rituals amongst all the other responsibilities of adulting that actually make you happy, your life will be better for it. So I would say that's worth the investment. Not me giving you a sales pitch for yourself and your own happiness. Jeez. Hopefully you're sold. And again, there might be some of you thinking, oh, well, it's just not possible. Like we're living pennies to pennies, paycheck to paycheck. We're scraping things. Like there's just really no extra room. Think about anything that you might be able to cut out for a little bit. Anything from your grocery budget that you could leave out for a little bit. Anything that you could do to make a few extra bones. Maybe somebody needs their driveway shoveled. Maybe somebody needs a ride somewhere. Maybe it's a DoorDash situation. Whatever it is. There's always ways to make a few extra bones. And if your happiness is worth it too, you'll find a way to make it happen. Again, though, sitting in that energy of why I enjoy those things and why it's important to me to have more of it in my life should be at the core of that thinking and allows you to create opportunities to make more money for yourself to do the thing. If it's a limitation around scheduling, now some people might have families and kids and literally have no time for themselves. That's a little bit trickier because obviously your family takes priority. But I would just encourage you, if that's you, to ask yourself, when can I make time for this? Can I bring my family? Is this something we would enjoy together? Do I need some alone time from my family to go and do this thing? And would my support system babysit or whatever take over here so that I can allow myself to have some time for myself? And if you're one of those people that has like no time for themselves, you might not be asking for enough help. And it is okay to ask for help. It takes a village to have a family, to raise a family, even just to take care of individuals. You need people, you need support in your life. So if your excuse for not doing things that you enjoy for yourself more is because you have no time to, I promise you, there's some priorities out of whack. There is a solution. And there are people that want to see you happy and healthy and are going to be willing to help you accomplish that. And if you're thinking, oh, I don't have anybody in my life like that, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And at the very, very least, if you really are thinking nobody's here for me, reach out to me, dude. I'll be here for you. I'll be your friend. That's why I'm putting myself out here. The thing that brings me the most joy is to be a lover, a healer, a light in the world for people, and to make myself known as somebody who's available for people. So if you don't have anybody else in your world, you have me. Just so you know. I'm looking at the time here, and I like to keep episodes around 20 to 25 minutes just for easy listening sake, and we're hitting our 20-minute mark as we speak. So I guess that means I'll leave you with those thoughts for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you are somebody who wants to contribute to this conversation, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out directly to me at love@skyhavenhealing.com. That's my professional business email. Or you can find me online on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube at Skyhaven Healing. And you can visit me on my website at skyhavenhealing.com, where you can find a little bit more about me. You can send in some inquiry forms. You can ask some questions. You can book services. And I would love to connect with y'all. If you're anybody who's got some questions, comments, concerns, or you want to do a collaboration in some way, I would love to hear from you. So thank you so much again for your time, my friends. It's a pleasure, as always, to connect with you. I hope you do something nice for yourself today. Do the thing that you enjoy doing. And do something kind for somebody else. In the meantime, have a great week. And I'll see y'all next time. Love you, bye.